On the surface, it looks like Donald Trump just flipped and is leading the charge to release the Epstein files, telling Republicans, "We have nothing to hide." But tonight on American Report, we're exposing how that same move could quietly give him a backdoor to stall the files, shield powerful allies, and blow open a new civil war inside his own party. Here's what most people are missing in all of this. Trump's U-turn on the Epstein files isn't just about Democrats or the media. It's blown open a fight inside his own camp. Some of his closest MAGA allies are now openly saying the Epstein issue is what broke their relationship with him. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has pointed directly at this fight, asking why Trump is pushing so hard against full transparency, while Congressman Thomas Massie is warning that the real risk isn't Trump being exposed. It's his friends and donors in his social circle of the last 4 decades. That's not coming from a Democrat attack ad, that's from inside the tent. And that's where everything starts to change. Because on the surface, Trump is selling this as total transparency. After months of calling the Epstein file push a Democrat hoax, he suddenly tells House Republicans on Truth Social to vote yes and declares, "We have nothing to hide." Headlines from major outlets echo the flip. Trump now says he would sign a bill to release the files if it reaches his desk, and House leadership is repeating the nothing to hide line almost word for word. A bipartisan coalition in the House has forced a vote, while the Senate is moving much more cautiously, which means even if the House moves first, the upper chamber becomes the next choke point. So the real question is this a clean push for sunlight or a way to control where that sunlight actually lands? And what happens next is even more revealing. What most people don't see is how politically vulnerable this specific issue has already made him. Polling cited in the reporting shows that while roughly 9 in 10 Republicans approve of Trump's overall job performance, only around 4 in 10 approve of how he's handled the Epstein files. That gap is enormous, and it's not coming from the left, it's coming from his own base. At the same time, outlets like PBS and others describe the Epstein fight and rising affordability problems as twin threats to his second-term agenda, especially after fresh Democratic wins. In other words, this isn't just scandal drama. It's colliding with grocery bills, rent, and economic frustration. This next detail is the one almost nobody is talking about. If the files fight continues to drag on, it doesn't just hurt Trump's image on transparency. It risks turning into a symbol of a second presidency that feels off course. And that's exactly where the legal strategy comes in. According to legal analysts quoted in the reporting, while Trump is publicly cheering on the release, he has also pushed the Justice Department to launch or expand a probe into Democratic figures' ties to Epstein. On its face, that sounds like he's going on offense against his rivals. But here's the part almost nobody explains clearly. That same investigation can be used to classify key Epstein-related records as part of an ongoing probe, giving DOJ a powerful argument to block or heavily redact what actually gets released. All while Trump points to the cameras and says, "I'm all for it." Experts describe it as a potential backdoor to slow or limit disclosure without ever taking the political hit for stopping it. And this next detail changes the whole picture. If that strategy works, Trump can claim he backed transparency, blame any delays on process or Democrat lawfare, and still protect the very friends and donors his own allies say could be at risk. So we end up with a president telling the country he has nothing to hide, a Congress split between a bipartisan push for daylight and a cautious Senate, a base that trusts him on almost everything except this one issue, and a Justice Department structure that might keep the most explosive material sealed under the label of an active investigation. Remember when we said this could crack open a civil war inside his own movement? If these files don't fully see the light of day, that's exactly where the pressure is going to explode, not just between Trump and Democrats, but between Trump and the people who thought they were on the same side of the truth. So in the end, this isn't just a fight over documents. It's a test of whether nothing to hide really means full sunlight or carefully managed darkness. How do you think this plays out if those files never truly see the light of day? This is American Report. Stay informed. The story isn't over.